Augur Insights, I recently caught up with Helen Fulson, the Chief Education Officer at Twinkl. In my work with young people over the years, I've regularly heard kids, parents, and teachers alike share their passion for the Twinkl brand, and I was really excited to loop in Helen's thoughts into our broader conversation about edutainment at this year's Children's Media Conference. I had a blast talking with Helen about this subject, and I hope you take away as much from the conversation as I did. It's great to be speaking with you today, Helen. First of all, do you mind briefly introducing yourself?
My name's Helen Fulson. I was a teacher for 14 years in various different primary schools across England. I've been working at Twinkl for the last 10 years, which are an educational publisher.
So something I've seen as a market researcher, particularly in the kids space, is that teachers, they just absolutely adore Twinkl. From your perspective, why do you think that is?
We have such a huge number of teachers and ex-teachers at Twinkl, and basically teachers know teachers. So we provide the content, we provide all the groundwork, and then the teachers just need to tweak from there. You know, they're not starting from scratch, they're not reinventing the wheel. We know what teacher workload is like. Obviously, a lot of us at Twinkl personally know what teacher workload is like. So it's not only that starting point, it's the beautiful design, the lovely illustrations that we have from the designers and illustrators that work at Twinkl. We've got all the digital offerings as well, and that's the child-facing as well as the adult-facing tools. So going back to that workload again, we've got AI tools that help with that teacher workload, but with that human element.
In your opinion then, why is edutainment content that both entertains and informs at the same time? Why is that so important for us to be talking about right now in 2024?
I think to inform people, you need their attention. And today, trying to get people's attention in any format is really difficult. There are more distractions around than there have ever been before. Obviously, children, especially young children, are easily distracted, but I think it's true for the general population today compared to maybe 20, 30 years ago. Entertaining children, engaging them, that's the route to accessing learning. If you've got those familiar characters, you've got some drama there, you're using all that to deliver a message, to teach a concept. And I think basically screen time is so high on the agenda everywhere at the moment. If that screen time can be positive, engaging and educational, I think everybody's a winner.
So speaking of edutainment then, how does Twinkl balance creating this edutainment material that's both regimented enough to work with schools' education, kind of educational curriculum, but also flexible enough to give kids the agency to learn and explore by themselves?
At Twinkl, we look at things in different ways. So we have like our child-facing audience as well as our adult-facing audience. And, you know, we have educators that might be parents, it might be home educators, it might be teachers, it could be teaching assistants. So there's a variety of different ways that pupils can access what we have. We have a Learn and Go platform where it's a safe, child-friendly environment, no adverts. It's not going to take them anywhere else on a generic website. And children can browse different animations, different games, different activities that are all educational, and they're all related to the curriculum in some way, but they're built to be engaging. And, you know, we want children to want to come back and play the same games again, because a lot of the key skills that you're learning in schools, things like your number bonds, things like your times tables, things like certain spellings where you can't follow rules, there is an element of rote learning, and rote learning is there by repetition. So you want it to be engaging, you want it something that children want to keep coming back to again and again.
So it's kind of combining the two. It's you bringing that regimentation that's needed, but also just making sure that it's delivering the entertainment that's going to keep them engaged with that kind of structure in the long term.
Yes, and I think that's across our teaching resources as well, is that we use familiar characters. So there might be a set of characters, that we have a beautifully created set of alien characters that we have in our spelling app that we can then use across other resources. Or it could be Yasmin the Explorer, who is in our geography games, it's in our geography curriculum, it's in our geography animations. So the children kind of see those characters and they kind of know what to expect.
So you talk about all these great characters, you talk about all the great content that you have on Twinkl more broadly. There's a lot of stuff there. So how are you helping different users, the kids, the teachers, the parents, whomever it is, discover and unearth this kind of vast array of content that you have available to them? Like, how are you getting this stuff into young people's ecosystems?
Oh, there's a variety of different ways, and we've got a variety of different customers, so it needs to be tailored to everybody, really. Some people will come to our website and search. Some people find us via Google. We're very active on social media, on all the usual platforms. We have newsletters to keep in touch. We actually have really great facility where teachers or home educators or parents can create learner logins, and then they give children direct access in a very child-friendly way to our website directly or our apps. We've got partnerships with lots of different brands. I mean, very recently we're working with Garfield, we've had Spider-Man. So some people might find us that way through our work with another brand. We also have a lot of teach meets where teachers come to our live Facebook events to learn about different things. We've also got our Twinkl Originals books go into a book club, and every 6 weeks a physical copy of one of our lovely originals books will drop through your door. You find those books in quite a lot of schools because they just add them to the school library. Talking of things you might find in the classroom, we have our Rhinos Readers reading scheme, so they'll be scattered around the classroom. Obviously our displays are on the walls, you'll see the Twinkl symbols there. We also have within our Twinkl Phonics scheme, it's very story-based led, and we have Kit and Sam, who are our central characters, and schools can buy those Kit and Sam dolls. So sometimes you'll see Kit and Sam physically there in the form of a doll in children's classrooms as well.
And what do you think general kids content makers could learn from Twinkl? Are there any particular lessons you've learned from developing your own content that you think could be applied to the kids' media landscape a bit more broadly?
I think it goes back to the distraction and the attention kind of topics, in terms of what we look at a lot within education is the cognitive load, and making sure that things are familiar to children so that the new learning is the bit that stands out and they can access it easily. If you've got lots of different things happening, if you've got lots of different characters they're not familiar with, if you've got lots of different formats of teaching, anything like that, that's adding to your cognitive load. So you're having to get your head around that before you can access the learning. So removing those blockers, even though some kids' TV can be dismissed as repetitive, it's repetitive for a very good reason, because it means the things that are different stand out and are more easily accessed.
Helen, it's been really fascinating talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat.
Thank you.
A massive, massive thank you again to Helen. I really loved hearing her thoughts on the kids' media space right now and edutainment within that. If you like what you heard today, we'd appreciate a share. We love having these conversations, kind of making them for you. Reaching more audiences helps us justify making even more of them. There's going to be more of a focus on edutainment coming up as part of our broader session for the Children's Media Conference. But until then, hope you all take care, and we'll speak soon.